Second half back underway here in Irish Independent Park in Cork. It's Ennis leading Carrick-on-Suir 14 points to 5. 2 tries in the opening period for Chisholm Aguero, 2 conversions as well for Avian Donnelly. The Tipperary girls will try just before half time. The conversion attempt though from the right wing, just trailing to the left hand side of the post. 14-5 is how it stands at the moment. Concern outsider for just one of the Ennis players at the moment. Looks like it's Vanessa Johnson-King that has taken a bit of a knock to the face, I think. So referee is just going to stop proceedings at the moment. Doesn't look as if there's been any changes at half time either on either team. The Ennis subs today, we've got Shifa Ryan, Mary Kate Keane, Dervla McMahon, Mairead Meskel, Emma Ikebi, Laura Cooney and Kayla Flannery as well. So they are the Ennis replacements. Rosie Brannock among those as well. In one change from our listed programme here, Rosie had been down to wear number 14. That instead goes to Avian O'Loughlin, and Rosie now wears 20. The Ennis girls involved in that Munster development squad: Alana McInerney, Aoife Corey, Emer Moynihan, Emily Murphy, Grace Colleran. We've got Vanessa Johnson-King, Eilish Cahill and Chisholm Aguero as well. Big hello as well to all the Murphy family out in Kilcolum in Kilmaley, I'm told, tuned into us as well this afternoon. Certain Ryan Murphy in that house as well, that has had plenty of success with the Ennis Rugby Club boys sides down through the last couple of years as well. Just whatever the father says, Ryan, keep doing the opposite and you'll be sound. In terms of the mother, just nod and agree, and it'll be happy sailing for you, no doubt about that. So concerned just at the moment there, looks like she's going to be okay. She'll be back up onto her feet very shortly indeed. We'll come together here now for a scrum. Put in will be for Ennis as they again on that attacking foot. And you get the feeling, Raf, that if they can produce anything like we saw in the first half, it will be a good day for the Clare women. If they can produce anything like that we saw in that opening half, it should indeed be a cup coming back to the showgrounds a little later on this evening. I know they'll be all delighted with that if they could get it going. Put in for the scrum, that's going to come from Grace Colleran. The push comes on, but does very well indeed to gather that at the base of the scrum. But she now tries to wrap around. Good strong run in there from Emer Moynihan, but she's put out over the line. The Carrick girls spotting the danger coming down along that blind side, so it's going to be a line out for them. But in fairness, as we've mentioned a couple of times in commentary, Ennis very, very well drilled and well trained on their line out, both in terms of the offensive and defensive side. And it's going to be their number 6, Alana Hanlon, with the put into the line out just at the moment. Up they go, and it's well won indeed. Just its second call at the last minute. Working it through the hands now, trying to get those numbers out wide. Full back putting it across there to the number 14, Gwen Flatley. She goes to ground. Ennis put on the pressure. All this happening far side of the pitch. Ennis have turned it over and now looking to drive forward, almost breaking through the line. Ball back to the ground. Colleran's there once more, presented for her. Gives it to Chisholm Aguero, the woman that's on the hat-trick trail. She's brought to ground just outside the 22-metre line. Colleran recycles again. Good jumping tackle there. Eilish Cahill came onto that at pace, but it's turned over again. Both sides turning each other over on a number of occasions early doors here in the second half. Carrick now making the carries. They've got a couple of numbers out here on this left-hand wing, and just the ball wouldn't go to hand. And Ennis get wrapped up, almost a hint of a high tackle there on their number 10, Emily Murphy. The referee is going to come back. It's going to be a scrum for Ennis. Flashes there, Raf, of both sides when they get going. They've got the pace, but just at the crucial time from a Carrick perspective, maybe looked up as the ball came towards her.
Yeah, and I thought the Ennis defence did well to get up in front of her there and force that error. Again, like we said in the first half, Ennis having the better of the early exchanges in the second, playing in the right parts of the field. Carrick aren't going to score from here unless it's something spectacular, and I think with every little segment, every part of 5 minutes that Ennis take off the clock, it's 5 minutes less for Carrick to come back into this game. And I think they played clever for most of the first half. Second half so far has been much of the same.
They'll be happy to manage it with the game management perspective, maybe from the Ennis girls so far. Going to be put in, as we said, to the scrum for the Ennis girls. A little bit of attention there for Emily Murphy, but thankfully she's back up onto her feet. As the scrum down time comes now. All the Ennis backs are braced for this one to hopefully come to Chisholm Aguero going for the line. Issue there again. Number 5 is brought down to ground is Eilish Cahill. Still there, Ennis looking to put this one to bed early doors, and it looks as if the referee has given the try. Touchdown at the butt of the post. So Ennis get their third try of the afternoon. Great foraging inside, touched it down just at the butt of the post, and again it's going to be a conversion chance for Aoibhinn Donnelly. So the initial burst all made by Chisholm Aguero. We'll just wait and see the player walking back here towards the halfway line. Third try of the afternoon for Ennis. 19-5 is how it stands. Donnelly now with the conversion attempt. Flags are good, kick is good. 3 tries, 3 conversions for the Ennis girls. It looks as if it was the number 5, Eilish Cahill, that got the latest try for Ennis. So good work for her at the butt of the post. Three conversions, 3 from 3 for Aoibhinn Donnelly from the boot. Eilish Cahill with the try. 2 for Chisholm Aguero. And Ennis very much in the driving seat now, Raf, you have to say. 21 points to 5. That might just put this one to bed.
Yeah, I think so. Look, judging on how Ennis have played and what Carrick have had to offer in attack, I think, it's only 7 minutes into the second half, or 8 minutes into the second half, but I could confidently say that bar a meltdown from Ennis, I think the game is very much in their hands.
And you have to say well deserved, because they've looked well drilled, well coached, and everything they do, they're trying to do the right thing with the ball.
Look, when they get into scoring, when they get inside the red zone into the 22, they take their chances, and you can't ask any more from a side, only to make the best of the chances they get, and they've done that.
The voice there of Raf Rocca of Sporting Limerick, our co-analyst here in Musgrave Park this afternoon, and our commentary sponsor as well is Paddy Brown REA Auctioneers in Ennis. It's Ennis on the defensive foot now at the moment as Carrick-on-Suir look to respond straight away, but again the try scorer Cahill was back there putting in some of the tackles, forcing them now to go through the hands, trying to get that line up quickly. Ball went to ground. Good clever play to get the boot out first to avoid the knock on. Now off goes Aoibhinn Donnelly. We saw her pace in the opening half. Brought to ground, does well to keep the ball in play as well. Carrick-on-Suir turn it over. They look to use the pack as the battering ram here now for a couple of phases, you'd imagine. Chisholm Aguero does well to get wrapped up there, but the referee thought maybe it was just a tad high. Yeah, indicating there just a tad higher on the neck. It's going to be a penalty for Carrick-on-Suir, and no doubt they'll opt, well, they did the last couple, to tap and go with this one. Yeah, that's exactly what she does. Again, good covering tackle from the Ennis defence. Number 10 with a nice little kick over the top. A little bit of defending to be done here. Oh, and it could be in the Sheehan. Oh, reaching for the line and does well to touch it down. She's been a thorn in the side all afternoon. Margaret Ann Boylan is the one that touched it down. A kick through, it was Emer Moynihan went back, ball just stood up, that bounce of the rugby ball that can be often so predictable. Just caught her at the right time. And Margaret Ann Boylan was the one who touched down. Again, just an indication there, Raf, this game of rugby, that ball is going to bounce. You've got to be light and quick.
I don't know about the grounding. I'm watching it back here on the big screen and the monitor here in front of us, and it did look suspiciously like it just took a little bobble forward as she went to ground it. But look, it's been given. Can't take it back now. 21-10, and it's a 2-score game regardless of whether she kicks this or not. But this would be a help. It allow them to chip away again. But fair play to Carrick. They've responded. It was a mistake really that presented them with that try, but I don't think it's time for Ennis to panic at all. I think they're still well in control.
Absolutely, it's going to be another difficult kick for the number 10 for Carrick-on-Suir, Marlies Flynn. She made a good old attempt at it, in fairness, tried to just guide it towards that left-hand post. It didn't go over, so it remains Ennis 21, Carrick 10, an 11-point lead for the Ennis girls. So just that bobble, and I guess as well on a normal surface, as you'd call it, that bobble may have gone a different way, but here the 3G, it just set up nicely. Pity Philip Neville didn't come up to us perhaps for a TMO decision on that one, but won't begrudge them that one. In fairness to Margaret Ann Boylan, she's been very prominent for Carrick throughout this afternoon. And when it mattered most, she was there, sharp and alert, pounced on that ball, dotted it down. Try for Carrick, conversion missed. Ennis 21, Carrick 10. As we move close to the opening third of this second half. Restart didn't go all that far, but again the pressure comes on. Carrick set nicely and try and get moving again. Supporters here getting behind this Tipperary outfit as well. Good work through the hands and bravery as well to go right through that covering tackle. Looked for contact, took it and did very well indeed when it came. It's a dangerous kick again now from Marlies Flynn once more. Defending now for Ennis to do, and again that bobbling ball. And Carrick doing really, really well now on that kicking game, you have to say. They've got a return from the last 2 times they've kicked into Ennis territory. Got up, turned that ball over, and here they are now once more. Will she opt to kick again? No, goes through the hands. The dancing feet of the number 8. But Ennis turn it over. That's a great steal. Great steal at the butt of the ruck. And off goes Chisholm Aguero trying to find the space, but they've her well marked and she's brought to ground. In go the pack now to try and clear it out and try and get that ball presented once more. But the referee spotted an infringement. It's going to be again a scrum for the Carrick girls, and again a little bit of attention going on for one of the Ennis girls. We just mentioned in the first half, Ralph, when you're not used to playing on the 3G surface, the impact on the ground when you go to ground can be something that is perhaps not all that nice.
Well, as a former prop forward, I can tell you it's that the key is not to go to ground if you can avoid it at all. It can be a bit stingy, especially if you're going in to tackle or if you're sliding, if you're going down on a loose ball. It's not pleasant. But I think what we saw there was just an Ennis ball carrier getting isolated and being and pinged for holding on. Carrick have actually responded quite well. They've forced Ennis into mistakes, they've forced them into turnovers, and they have a penalty right in the middle of the field here. I'm guessing they'll tap and go, or they'll kick for the line out if they can. But if they get another score and it brings it to within a try, then maybe Ennis will start to worry and it starts to get a bit interesting then. Like, we've loads of time left, we've only 14 minutes gone, we've 20 minutes of this to go, and of course you'll have to remember in the last 20 minutes legs are going to start to get that little bit tired, or mental concentration is going to drop. So there's just been a little bit of shift of momentum in the last 5-10 minutes in Carrick's favour. We'll see how Ennis deal with it.
Let's see how that defence is going to hold up now again as the number 8 for Carrick, Erica Kiley, goes trying to bustle her way through. Getting it out this near side, Chisholm Aguero with another good tackle. Ennis get the shove on and it's picked up very well indeed outside there. Shanice Benson on that occasion. Just getting wrapped up now, the pack trying to come in and give a little bit of support, holding her up, that choke tackle. Trying to get that maul going now, if they can just drive forward, bringing the play up towards halfway. Now it goes to ground. What side is the ball going to come out on? The referee decides that it's going to be a penalty, or a scrum rather, for the girls from Carrick. Good pressure being exerted there, but just not enough. We see down the sideline here as well, we're going to have some substitutions for the Ennis girls. It's going to be Emanuela Ikebi coming in. And we'll just wait and see who's going to be the player that is making way. So in comes Emanuela Ikebi for the Ennis girls. Referee just making sure that everything is in place before this scrum is called. Ennis 21, Carrick 10, moving towards the midway point of this second half. And the girls under 18 Munster Conference, this commentary in association with Paddy Brown REA Auctioneers in Ennis. Ball picked from the base of the scrum again by this number 8 Kylie. She's been prominent in this opening period of the second half as well. That is a great little dazzling run. Needs support off the shoulder, being wrapped up there by the Ennis tacklers. The number 12 there for Carrick, Ciara Kiley. Now the ball just lost forward. From a Carrick perspective, we'll be thankful from an Ennis point of view as Saoirse Reedy picks that one up. Goes to ground, referee making sure that everything is as it should be. Emily Fanning now trying to carry it through. Again, Ennis doing well just to make these hard jars, just killing the momentum that Carrick had built up in this last while. Off goes Vanessa Johnson-King. Ball is out, referee says to play on. Great run again and good breaking the tackle again, Aoife Corey. Colleran back to Aguero. Now can she get some space down that left hand side? Off she goes, puts on the afterburners. Aguero's off, down along the touchline, but just pulled back. Great covering tackle from Carrick-on-Suir. Still manages to recycle the ball. Aguero just needs a half a yard of space and she's off and gone. Back into the centre now we come once more. Stepping out from the line and wrapping up the tackler. Ennis now still trying to batter her way through. They've got numbers down this right hand side if they can try and recycle it back around. Colleran there now trying to pick it up, does well to get it to Fanning. Emily Fanning tackled and a big hit too it was, driving her back to the 22. Ball presented once more, looked as if it was going to be knocked forward, it was. The pressure comes on, and you mentioned it, Raf, that little bit of tiredness perhaps creeping in. It was a tired enough kind of an attempt.
It was, and I'll just take you back a few phases here to the middle of the field when Ennis were actually defending. If you look at, they were defending very, very narrow. The wingers are coming all the way. The wingers are nearly 30 metres in off the sideline. It's leaving a huge amount of space. I know they're trying to defend close in, but if Carrick can move that ball quicker out of the midfield, out of the congestion of where Ennis defenders are bunched, there's an amount of space. So I think the Ennis wingers need to trust the defenders on the inside and stay out in their wing. Don't give Carrick that space.
Let's see what they can do from this scrum. A little 1-2 wraparound. We've seen it a couple of times in this game. But again, the hit comes in contact there, and good stuff from the Ennis girls out on that far side, trying to keep that ball in play. 21-10 they lead. The referee again is just coming back. There's attention for one of the Carrick girls at the moment. Raf, no doubt there's a couple of people watching this that might have one eye as well on Murrayfield. You've got one eye in it there as well. You might give us an update.
Keith Earls just scored Ireland's third try. The fantastic pass from Joey Carberry, who made the break. It's 17-10 Carberry with the kick to convert it. Hopefully it'll be 19-10 in a minute.
Who needs Dave McIntyre when you've got Raf Rocca giving you the lowdown of proceedings in Murrayfield? We'll watch the scrum over on that far side just at the moment, with the Carrick girls down getting a little bit of attention. 2 tries in the first half for Chisholm Aguero and 1 here in the second as well for the Ennis girls, coming from Eilish Cahill, and 3 conversions as well being kicked from the left boot of Aveen Donnelly. Ennis now just starting to ring some of the changes down here on this near side. John Cullen and the rest of the coaching staff down here in front of us, no doubt. Richie Murphy is tucked away somewhere as well. What you're hearing there is an attempt at an outbreak of My Lovely Rose of Clare here in Irish Independent Park by some of the Ennis Rugby. Now the girls join in and it becomes a little bit more melodious, shall we say. That's a fantastic tune. Anywhere you hear it. Even the Limerick man beside me is smiling at that one. Raph, will you give us a Limerick or a lady maybe?
Well, I wasn't going to point the single if it was the lads singing, but as soon as the girls kicked in, it was a lot easier on the ears then, yeah, for sure.
Certainly was. Hopefully it'll have the desired effect in terms of spurring the Ennis girls on in the closing stages here, leading by 21 points to 10. You can hear the crowd getting a lot more vocal here now below as it enters the championship phase as Ennis go in search of this Munster League title. Just pinning the Carrick girls back now into their own 21-metre line. The ball was out, referee says. Good drive over the top there, and now off they go with the number 6, Emily Fanning. Carrying it into contact, picking it up from the base of the scrum there again. Vanessa Johnson-King there trying to drive her team forward. Ennis have a number of players poised, but the referee again spots an infraction. And it's going to be a penalty and a chance to relieve their lines for Carrick-on-Suir. 21 points to 10. We've seen it, Raf, that when these Carrick girls kick, they are getting some return from it in terms of that kick chase.
They are, yeah, and in fairness, they've kicked well, they've kicked into the space, but again, the reason there is so much space is that the Ennis defenders are quite bunched. They're giving Carrick massive targets to kick into. I just think if they stay spread out, it'll close down a lot of the space.
Aveen Donnelly won that brilliantly and held on to it and finds the space to run into. Donnelly dancing and turning, brought to ground. She'll need support now off the shoulder. Big chance here for Ennis. Big numbers out wide on that left wing if they can spread it. Chisholm Aguero now tries to find the space. She's brought to ground, presents it back again, picked up from the base of the ruck once more by Vanessa Johnson-King. Turns into the tackle, goes to ground. Ennis edging towards that line, but a big hit coming in there again from the Carrick girls, and do very well indeed to turn that one over. Now they've got a chance to set their defensive line and just kill this thing in that Ennis attack just at the moment. Referee coming in, he's going to say that it's he's going to give the penalty once more to Carrick. It's taken quickly and he's allowing it to go. Don't think he even knew himself that one was taken, did Philip Neville. Up towards the 10-metre line they come. Referee has spotted another infringement in off the feet. Another penalty for Carrick. They're going to have to take this one quickly. Marlies Flynn trying to get on with it. She instead opts to leave it to the number 9, Gemma Lane. Gemma will tap and go. Looks for the sport to come off her shoulder again. It's this number 8, Erica Kiley. She's brought to ground again. Carrick looking for the score that will really bring him back into this game and produce a grandstand finish, but it's a penalty for Ennis. Stout defending when needed, urged on by a very active sideline down here in front of us. And Aveen Donnelly with that left peg down along this right hand touchline. She'll have a chance to angle it down towards that 22, and that's exactly where it goes. Great kick from Aveen, relieving the pressure. Just when Carrick got the hit of steam up, Raf, Ennis had the answers.
Yeah, Ennis had the answers, and again, just key to that was not to put too many people into the ruck. Leave one in, let the rest of the tacklers fan out. Sometimes if you over contest the ruck, you leave those spaces, and that's all they need to do. Keep their discipline, one person in over the ball and spread out. Got the turnover there, and again, just chipping time off the clock all the time. 24 minutes gone now. If they could just repeat the dose for the next 10 minutes, they're okay.
They'll be home and holes. 24 minutes played. We've got a 35-minute half to play, and Ennis with the put into the line out with Claude and MacDonald. Good stats, I'd imagine, from the Ennis girls in terms of winning lineouts here this afternoon. The referee just saying that he needs Chisholm Aguero to trot forward. No better girl to do just that. At the back of that lineout, in it goes. Good work And now they'll wrap around and try and get that maul moving up towards that 22-metre line. Pushing forward all the time, good controlled, composed play. Now they'll recycle back through the hands into Emily Murphy, taking it into contact, back to Colleran once more. Colleran brought to ground, she'll need support to come, and it comes in the form. Oh, and it just at the right time from a Carrick perspective. The handling wasn't perhaps what it should have been. And it's been turned over, and again that big kick comes, and the big kick came from Marlies Flynn right in. That's a cracking kick. But going all the way back, Aoibhinn Donnelly, now she'll need support. She'll need the kick to go back just as good, and it does. But was it offside? Or looked offside up from here. Referee has spotted it as well. It's always a tempting one to go to Rafa. I guess the temptation just got the better, but no doubt about the offside decision.
Absolutely no doubt about it there. I think she just lost the run of herself and thought she was playing Gaelic football there for a second. Definitely an offside. No qualms with that one. Now, interesting to see. It's a tight angle. Interesting to see what kind of distance they'll get in this kick. But I think they have to start kicking. They have to get into Ennis territory. They're not going to do anything from up here.
She's got the breeze at her back at the moment, has Marlies Flynn, as she kicks that one out over the stand. And we're going to need a replacement, Gilbert, to go across the field as well. Not quite sure if the Carrick mentor will be getting any Munster call up after that kick. As Ennis make another substitution, Mary Kate Keane is coming on, and it looks like it's Vanessa Johnson King that is going to be making her way off. Warm round of applause for Vanessa as she comes off the field. Looks to have played her part in what will hopefully be an Ennis victory here this afternoon, leading by 21 points to 10, and we've got less than 8 or 8.5 roughly to go to the full-time whistle. 2 scores and 2 converted tries indeed will be needed if the Carrick girls are going to overturn Ennis on this occasion. Looks like that blistering first half. 14-5 at half time was the score. Ennis indeed went 14-0 up with those 2 tries from Chisholm, the 2 conversions as well from Aoibhinn, and then that try from Eilish Cahill in the second period, really putting this one to bed. Good response from the Carrick girls with a try down here in the left hand corner after a fortuitous enough kind of a bounce. But at the moment, Ennis 21, Carrick 10, and all this time taking lineouts and scrums over on that far side, just eating into the clock. This time it'll be the Ennis put into the lineout. Well contested, well won, and we've seen them do this time and again here this afternoon in Musgrave Park, winning that line out, getting that maul moving. And look at there's Grace Colleran right at the back of it again, ready to get perhaps Murphy released, and that's where it goes. Murphy, and the tackler just came up at the opportune time. Aoibhinn Donnelly has it now. She's brought to ground just as she wound up that left peg. Recycle back around once more. McInerney trying to bring that one to ground. Colleran does well to drive it back. Referee just spotting that Emily Murphy is over on that far side, just receiving a little bit of attention. Referee, I'd imagine, is stopping the clock at the moment, is Philip Neville. And all this, Raf, just killing momentum that perhaps Carrick had built up. It'll suit Ennis.
Yeah, it will. I just thought the last few phases that Ennis could have done, but maybe putting the ball down this end. You know, Carrick had pushed up in that instance. There's plenty of space behind. Don't need to be carrying the ball into contact here. You know, you're only asking for trouble, a turnover, penalty for holding on. I think just, you know, turn Carrick, put them back down there, and let the rest, the defence take care of it after that. But interesting to know how he's going to restart this now. Is he given a penalty, or is it going to be a scrum restart for an injury with Ennis? Where I think Ennis were in possession, so it would be an Ennis scrum if that's how this goes. But again, if it is an Ennis scrum, that you know, Carrick are going to have to apply some pressure to the base, hopefully force a knock on, force an error. But you know, they're approaching last chance saloon fairly quickly now. It's a 2-score game entering into 5 minutes. There will be a nice chunk of injury time, I'd imagine. So, but it's do or die now for them.
Absolutely. Let's see what the decision of Philip Neville be when he decides to restart this game. Thankfully, Emily Murphy is back up onto her feet, and by the looks of it, it's going to be put in for Ennis, because we saw Grace Colleran walking across with the ball. So again, that Ennis pack has been very, very consistent, very solid right throughout this afternoon. And indeed, when that backline have got moving, They've found those gaps, none more so than Chiz Maguire with her 2 first half tries. Indeed, Aoibhín O'Loughlin and Alana McInerney, Aoife Corey, Emer Moynihan, all those girls very much to the fore in terms of this Ennis challenge here this afternoon. Off they go once more. Chiz Maguire goes to ground, wins that ball. Recycled again to Eilish Khan as she drives forward. What a try she got. Great foraging from her right at the butt of the post. I think we've got another injury just at the moment. Again, I think it's that unforgiving 3G surface. It's like that's Chiz Maguire who's picked up a knock. Ennis could do with her seeing it out. So this is the first, hopefully, of many broadcasts between the Clare champion Sporting Limerick and indeed our commentary sponsor Paddy Brown REA. Lots of plans in the pipeline, so do stay tuned. Rugby, GA, soccer, hopefully plenty news to come from all those sports in terms of these types of broadcasts as well. As I mentioned, between the paper podcast and online streaming, you're getting plenty sport in terms of the Clare champion output, so we'll hopefully be keeping that going right throughout the summer and indeed for the couple of years to come as well. Chiz Maguire thankfully getting back up onto her feet. I imagine we will. We're looking at the clock. What have we got? We're maybe 3.5 minutes roughly. We will have injury time though on top of that, I imagine. Philip Neville has probably been stopping and starting the watch outside as well, but looks like Ennis are going to eat down the clock, leading by 21 points to 10 as the sun shines across Musgrave Park here now. Nice hazy evening sunshine on this February day. That Munster logo across to the brave and faithful, nothing is impossible. Hopefully that's going to be the case for Ennis to see this out and take this girls under-18 Munster Conference A title. Thanks in no small part to that girl who was on the ball just a couple of moments ago, Chiz Maguire. Out it comes to this near side. Did it go backwards? Referee indicates that it did. Presented well. Collaring goes back as Emanuela Ikebi is here on this far side, but she decides to go infield instead. Collaring onto Chiz Maguire. Has she broken through the line? She has. Dancing clear but brought to ground again. Such an exciting turn of foot when she breaks the line. Back to Murphy. Taken into tackle there. Ball skirted clear, but it's gone backwards. But it's Carrick that have turned it over. Looking to launch one more foray into this Ennis half, but the Clare girls certainly not allowing them to do it with any great ease. But again, that kick towards the corner, dangerous kick now. Aoibhín Donnelly has got 3 Carrick players right down her throat as she gathers this and does the clever thing, kicks towards safety. You have to imagine, Raf, number 15 on your back, 3 players coming down your throat. There's only one place for it.
Yeah, fine touch and find it quickly, and she did well. In fairness, she had to pick it up, turn, and they were really breathing down her neck. And look, it just get it out of play, regroup, get your defensive line set, and you know. We're heading into injury time, a minute of normal time left. It's probably, I'd guess, about 4 or 5 minutes, judging by the amount of stoppages. You know, Carrick really have to come up with the goods here. Ennis can afford to keep their defensive line, keep their discipline. I can't see them coughing up a try.
Absolutely, they'll need to. Obviously, we've 21-10 on the scoreboard at the moment, and just one of the Carrick girls down receiving a little bit of treatment at the moment. Ennis will be looking to steal this line out, and hopefully with the clock in the red then just lash it out here into the stand towards us and confirm their victory. What a fabulous journey it's been for them. The club only introducing girls rugby last year. They got to that bowl final after losing to Feathered in the Cup and reversed those fortunes then 12 months later with a brilliant victory over Feathered in this year's semi-final. Their only loss came against local rivals Kilrush in the pool stages, a draw against Listowel. What a performance they've turned here in Independent Park in Cork this afternoon. 21-10. And they're not done yet. Looks like there's going to have to be a change here for one of the feather girls, I think. Just looking down, I'm not quite sure who feathered. It's one of the Ennis girls, in fact, that's going to be making me off. I think it's Eilish Cahill. Is it the try scorer? No, Eilish is still on the field. In fact, it's Saoirse Reedy that is making her way off. So a rapturous round of applause here. It's going to be Schaefer Ryan that's going to be coming on. So the last bit of encouragement coming from the Carrick supporters now as they launch this line-out. And again, Ennis tried to turn it over. Ball went forward. They will have the scrum. Referee had the hand out for advantage. All hands on deck now on this defensive effort from the Ennis girls that they can try and hold out. They'll be surely crowned champions. Nice little loop around again. But she's gone clear as Marlies Flynn. But again, just brought to ground at the right time. Just outside the Ennis 22-metre line. Gemma Lane recycles but shoved back again by that Ennis forward line. Looking to reset. Carrick though still have that ball in their possession. The referee has spotted an infringement. Let's see where the arm is going to go. I think there's another injury for him to deal with, and again looks like is it one of the Ennis girls that's down? It certainly is. It's been a really physical effort at times, you have to say, Raf, from an Ennis perspective as well, and obviously from a Carrick point of view too. They've just left everything out there, both sets of players. Yeah,
and they've ran fairly hard at each other too. You look at a lot of the carries in the second half have been up the middle in the tight end phases, and it's seeming to take its toll in the last few minutes. We've had more injury breaks than we've had actual time of ball in play. It'll be interesting to see. I'd say we will definitely be going over the 40 minutes here of time, but again, this suits Ennis. It doesn't. If you're the team chasing a game, this is not what you want. You're getting colder, you're getting tireder. I'd say this won't disappoint Ennis that it's kind of breaking down like this. It's disjointed. Carrick can't get any momentum, can't get any continuity. Even from the line out there, the line out scrappy. Had a good chance here with the loop around ball, but they just didn't have the pass to find the player outside in space. Had to cut back inside into the Ennis cover. Ennis could deal with it. So again, Ennis defence fairly solid, well organised, and forcing Carrick back inside to where the defenders are.
I want to restart with an Ennis scrum, and that's good news from a Clare perspective, obviously. So hopefully they can see this out. 21-10 is how it stands on the scoreboard. The put-in will be once more by Grace Colleran. They've been very controlled, very disciplined, this Ennis scrum so far this afternoon. And again, they get that shove on, but the ball has been turned over against the head. It's been won by Carrick. The referee, though, is going to come back once more. We're going to have another reset. Yeah, knock on again. Yeah, so from an Ennis put-in, Carrick turnover, and then a knock on, back to another Ennis scrum. All happening in the space of 2 yards and maybe 10 seconds. It could have a telling impact in terms of the output of this game. Referee blowing the whistle again. I'd say we'll be resetting once more. Grace Colleran has the ball once more, putting it into the scrum, wheeling it back. Have the Ennis girls held on to that possession? And they certainly have. Back we come to Alana McInerney now, dancing clear. Oh, what an acrobatic turn that was! Francis will be damn proud of that. Wonderful athleticism from Alana McInerney. Held on to the ball brilliantly to set this up. We're gone well into the injury time, so it's all now down to the watch. It's on the hand of our referee Philip Neville, Ennis though in control of the most important thing out in that field at the moment, and that is that ball. Chisholm Aguero puts down the head trying to find the gaps. Wins the maybe 3 or 4 yards. Grace Colleran now back again. Looping around. Good work, release clear here now to the number 21, Emmanuel Akemi. But the referee spotted that one went slightly forward. You're not convinced, referee?
Marginal at best, I'd say. Marginal at best. We saw some hairy ones last week when Ireland didn't get the benefit of the doubt. I'd say if we were going back to watch that on a replay, it was level, or it was flat. I didn't see any forward motion in that ball.
Ennis management encouraging the supporters here in the stands to get behind their team now as they get within touching distance of this title. 21 points to 10. The sun shining on the scoreboard down to our left hand side. There comes my lovely Rosa Clare blaring out once more. Ennis get the shove on again. Ball is out, but again the referee just coming back. And it's going to be a penalty, and the penalty is to Carrick, taken quickly. No other choice as she tries to dance through. Jimalaine still going. Wonderful feet from her, ballerina like as she goes through. Over to 21, down to ground. Ennis screaming to get numbers out wide. Carrick are stacked on that right hand side of the field. But they opt to go down the short side, the near side here. Back around it comes. Tackled high there, referee looks to be playing the advantage. Carrick still in possession. Back to the number 10, she'll kick it towards the corner. It's a very, very dangerous kick. The Ennis number 14, Aoibhinn O'Loughlin's going all the way back. She'll touch it down. Referee though is going to come back, I think, for that high tackle. No advantage accruing. Penalty for Carrick. 21 points to 10. You get the feeling that on the scoreboard it may be just cosmetic if they can put something on the board. But Ennis though will not want to give up a third try here this afternoon. This number 9, Jimalaine, was the one that made the burst, made the break. And she feeds it to Caoimhe O'Donnell, now taking it well over that 22 metre line. Looking for the pack now to do the damage as Megan Forden takes it into contact. And it's turned over. Good work outside again. That's Chisholm Aguero on the ball. Have Ennis done enough to hold out? Referee is just looking. Penalty, and it's again taken quickly, but too quickly, says the referee. She thought she was through, did Marlies Flynn. If you're looking for consistency though, Rafi let a quick one go down here maybe 5-10 minutes ago, so she was well entitled to go for her run. And
she's been going for the quick tap all day. I just don't know if she played the ball. I think she just might have just ran with it rather than actually playing it off her foot and going, so I think that's what he probably pulled her back from. But I think it's going to be too little too late. I don't know why she's going for a drop goal. She got it.
She landed it. It was a nice little drop goal it was too for Marlies Flynn. So 21-13, an 8-point game. Probably won't be enough for Carrick to get back into it, but perhaps the wiser option might have been to play it back into that corner again and put the pressure on, but I suppose saw the opportunity, went for a good execution, but the right decision.
Well, I did pass maths in my leaving cert, and if you know the time's running out and you need 2 scores, no point leaving yourself 8 points short. No, they had players outside as well. No, it's a baffling decision, but look, it is what it is, and good for Ennis.
Yeah, it certainly will. It'll do nicely as well because the restart has been knocked on. Just shows, Raf, if you do pass maths, you can get places in life. I did them as well, so maths was never my strong point, so thank God for calculators and scoreboards like we have here in front of us as well. Looking at that scoreboard, 21 points to 13 with 44 minutes played. Now that of course is our clock. The clock that matters is the one that Philip Neville has outside. Ennis now starting to ring a couple of changes again. This time it's Rosie Brannock who's making her way onto the field. And a good round of applause as well for the player that's making way, the number 14, Aoibhinn O'Loughlin. Put into the scrum will be for Ennis, and once more for Grace Colleran. Getting the shove on, Aguero driving it from the back. Colleran picking it from the base of the scrum, but the referee saw something he wasn't too pleased with. So we're going to reset once more. It's been a long old second half here with lots of restarts and stoppages for injuries, so I'd imagine we're going to go well over. We have gone well over. We've gone 10 minutes over, in fact, the 35 that we were meant to play. But restart again, and off we go. Ennis trying to run it through the lines, and good dancing feet there again by Derrick McMahon, the number 18 that substituted has come on. Presents it back, Colleran just controlling it, looking around, looking for the options. The referee says it's there and just go for it. Ennis looking to finish this on the front foot, leading by 21 points to 13. Murphy into the centre it comes. Chance to go for the posts. Touches it down. That is game ball for Aoife Corey. The Ennis number 12 fed by Murphy. Icing on the cake as she danced her way through, kicked off to the left hand side, caught inside under the post, never in doubt. Cherry on top and all that, Raf.
Oh, what a line. What a line. All the players outside are drifting out, and she takes the ball in on the angle, cuts through the defence, massive hole in the defence. Carrick have no way defending that. That's a superb line, that really, really was, and just a well taken score, and to be honest with you, fully deserving of Ennis. They've weathered the storm here for about 15 minutes, go down, get one half decent platform, and boom, they've just had more quality all day long, to be honest.
That becomes 26-13. Can Aoibhinn Donnelly make it 4 from 4? She certainly can. Why do we even ask the question? 28 points to 13. Referee, I think, has he called an end to it? He certainly has. Yeah, referee has blown the full-time whistle. Everybody's just a little bit confused at the moment. There it is. Now it's been confirmed. 28 points to 13. Ennis beating Carrick-on-Suir in this girls under-18 Munster Conference A final. Raf, just to wrap it up, you said it there a moment ago, without a shot of a doubt, better team winning.
Oh, absolutely. Dominated for periods, withstood the pressure when they had to, went down when they had opportunities, took their scores, and I think Aguero, standout player for me, scored 2 tries, made a super break that led to the third run, worked great all over the pitch, excellent, but on a superb team performance, and like I said, weathered the storm when they had to, played smart rugby, came under pressure, some of it self-inflicted at times when they were pulling too much in off their wings and getting a bit too narrow in defence, but you know, these things happen during a match. You can't play the perfect 80 minutes 80 minutes as it was all the time. But fully deserved. You can't have any arguments with it. And you know, even the most diehard Carrick fan will say that Ennis were a better side today.
Absolutely, no doubt. John Colleran and Richie Murphy and all the lads are going to be delighted with that one. Ennis taking victory here in Irish Independent Park in Cork on a scoreline of 28 points to 13 over Carrick-on-Suir. With thanks goes to Raf Rocca here beside me, the man from Sporting Limerick, and indeed all the gang of Sporting Limerick for this afternoon's broadcast, and to Paddy Brown REA Auctioneers and Ennis, our commentary sponsors here. Full-time score in Irish Independent Park, it's Ennis 28 points, it's Carrick-on-Suir 13. Do join us again for our next broadcast on the Clare Champion website very shortly. Details to follow. Podcast on Monday, paper on Thursday. We'll talk to you then.